Oh, hey, we're filming. We are finally back on the MG, and I could not be more excited. The last time you guys saw this car, it was brand new, fresh from the paint shop. Everything was clean. It looked awesome. Now it is much dustier, and that's because we spent the past several weeks working on other things. Not because I really wanted to, but there were just projects that we had to get out of the shop. We had to get off my mind mostly so that I could focus my attention on this car and that car. So that's what we're gonna be doing today in the next few episodes, is working on the MG and getting it ready to go down the road. We've got a long checklist that we've got to go through to make sure this thing's not gonna try to kill me when I drive it for the first time. And we're basically just gonna break the car down into sections. So basically the front, and then we'll do the middle, and then we'll do the back, and we'll take care of each system in those areas to make sure that we can drive this thing and it all just works out. All right, so the front, we have a few jobs that have to be done. Our hood has to have some sort of latching mechanism. We need a grill, which I did not plan very well for us. We're starting with that because it's gonna be pretty difficult. And then just a few other things that we'll show you later on the video that are just gonna make this thing run and drive and do it hopefully really, really well. But first is the grill. This thing doesn't fit at all. We want to line this indentation in the hood up with the badge so we know our grill's centered, but I didn't really do a great job of building the front half of these fenders. I just wasn't thinking, honestly. I didn't have a great plan. So we've got to do some cutting first to make this fit where I want it to fit, and then from there, it's gonna be just a matter of figuring out how to make it look like it's supposed to fit. Probably some sort of trim ring, rubber seal, I'm not really sure, but we'll do something to make up the gaps so that this thing looks like it's supposed to be there, I hope. So it feels like it wants to be right here, which is like kind of sucked back almost to the stock location, which is okay, but then our fenders and everything kind of come out past that. So an option is, I know fiberglass will stick to whatever this metal is because I've tested this, but our option is to maybe build out in fiberglass here and kind of make it like scooped into the grill. I think that would look cool. I think that would look cool if it'll look symmetrical. So I'm laying out some tape to basically build a new shape for our grill to fill in all the gaps and areas that we just kind of missed in production. Packing tape is really good at not letting stuff through. So the fiberglass resin, the cloth, all that is not gonna get through into our paint underneath, which is very important because this car is freshly painted. I don't want to do it again. So next, just to give us kind of a more finished looking piece, I'm gonna take this filler. This is just like regular filler. I actually really don't like this brand. But we've got it, so we're gonna use it for now. It doesn't have to hold very long. You could use like drywall putty or something, I guess, for this, but drywall putty takes forever to dry. So we'll mix up some and then spread it out onto the tape, and that's just gonna give us a little bit of a surface to work with. All right, so we got the filler on and it's dry, and I think this method would work, but while we were doing this, I remembered I had something way better for this job. This giant block of chocolate. No, it's not chocolate, it's clay. It's clay that was sent to me by another YouTuber named Builder Creator who's building a 200-mile-per-hour 2JZ supercar. You need to check it out. He built his whole car out of this stuff. And it is a special kind of clay. It's the kind they use when you build like actual cars in studios. So it never dries out. It's always kind of the same texture. You can heat it, smooth it, all kinds of good stuff. And you can put fiberglass on top of it. So we're gonna do that, but first we gotta get this thing shaped, and I think this is gonna make everything so much better and so much faster. This stuff isn't cheap, but there's a reason. It's because it solves so many problems. So we'll throw some of that on here, smooth it out, and try to get a better shape out of it. real hard, but it turns out it would work. Oh no. All right, so this is header number 2 for this car. You guys will remember, if you've been watching this build, that I built my own like custom set of headers, and they looked really cool. They just didn't work. So we're gonna do round 2. I know this will work. This is temporary, just for anyone that might be concerned, but we've got to get our headers basically spaced out. So we're gonna take this block hugger header and basically space it out to get some clearance for our steering shaft and some other MGB things that we've got to clear, and then this thing should fit pretty much perfectly. All right, so our car finally has a face. We took care of some major problems in this episode. One of the huge ones obviously being the grill. I went into this episode thinking that I was not going to make any custom parts, and we ended up making custom parts the entire time. So I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to get, but we did accomplish some really difficult tasks. One of which was fixing our headers. So both of our headers work, they're functional, they're gonna flow a little bit better than the ones that I made before, and they look really cool thanks to the heat wrap that we put on them. And then obviously the grill is a huge one. Now this is not finished, don't worry, don't sweat, it's gonna be fine. I do need to bodywork this. We just ran out of time for this episode, so I'll bodywork it off camera, and then I've got to decide if I want to color match it to the car or make it like black or gunmetal or like color match to the wheels. I don't know. I hadn't decided what color this is going to be yet. I just felt like black was good to kind of give you an idea of what the shape is. So let me know in the comments below. Should it be green? Should it be brown? Should it be gray? Should it be black? What do you guys think? And I'll look at all those and figure out which one I think will work the best. We also threw our headlights in, which isn't that big of a deal, really, but the thing finally looks like a car again. So that's really awesome. They look great. We'll make little rings for those so we can cover up all this hardware. And we can move to, I think, the back next. So that's gonna be our next thing. It's so cool to see this thing kind of all come together and look, you know, closer to being finished. This is a problem that has been bothering me for months and months and months, so I'm glad to finally have a piece that we can work with here. And I really think it looks pretty good. So I guess that's it. We are back into MG content, so next week we will keep rolling on this thing, just knocking out projects to get it back on the road. And we'll keep doing that until this thing's driving. So we're getting very close. It's very exciting. It's also very overwhelming because there's so much to do. Sure. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you next week when we do more MG stuff.
You are done.
Yep. Thanks. All right. That's it. That's a wrap.